back again. As you can see behind pipe. I got a lot of the tech DLC in post. I have access to the genetic build for out here.
The is a huge. We can make it to do. What I want to tell you is it has time you learned. Or sure, decide who defeated in their gave him the name Patriot. Your plan works, and you're able to get it. Need you to make contact.
How can I contact him if I know nothing about it?
Patriot devised a method to communicate way. The salute back.
Okay.
Tom encrypted a message for Patriot's eye. Once to you. So you make and after you need to stand in their good graces. Trade them. Do that.
Wait.
Make just get all the information you can about sin. Find their weaknesses. If we can disable or destroy the Institute, we may have to. You jack that holotape into any terminal, and Patriot will make contact. He has to.
Got the RF! We got it!
Find a way to save them. Nobody else can.
Okay, welcome to the Institute, everybody. So,
Hello.
Hello, Father.
I wonder if you might make it here. You're quite resourceful. I'm known as Father. The Institute is under my guidance. know why you're here. I'd like to discuss things with you face to face.
As soon as it opens, sure.
I can only imagine what you've heard, what you think of us. I'd like to show you that you may have the wrong impression. Welcome to the Institute. This is the reality of the Institute. This place, these people, the work we do. For over 100 years, we've dedicated ourselves to humanity's survival. Decades of research, countless experiments and trials, a shared vision of how science can help shape the future. It has never been easy, and our actions are often misinterpreted by those above ground. Someday, perhaps, we can show them what we've accomplished. But for now, we must remain underground. There's too much at stake here to risk it all. As you've seen, things above are unstable. I'd like to talk to you about what we can do for everyone. But that can wait. You are here for a specific, very personal reason. You are here for your son.
I'm stealing everything.
Sean?
Huh? Yes, I'm Sean.
Sean? Is that really you?
Who are you?
Sean, it's me. I'm your mom.
Father, what's going on? What's happening?
Sean, are you okay? You're not hurt, are you?
What's going on? Father? Father!
I'll kill them for this. All of them.
I don't know you. Go away. Father! Father, help me! There's someone here, help me!
Sean,
Father?
please.
Father, help me!
Calm down.
She's trying to take
I'll get
me.
you out of there.
Father? Father, help me!
Sean. S923, recall code Cirrus. Fascinating, but disappointing. The child's responses were not at all what I anticipated. He's a prototype, you understand. We're only just now beginning to explore the effects of extreme emotional stimuli. Please try and keep an open mind. I recognize that you are emotional, and that your journey here has been fraught with challenges. Let's start anew. I am Father. Welcome to the Institute.
I could kill you. Right here. Right now.
Yes. Yes, you could. And I would be powerless to stop you.
Just... help me understand what's going on here.
I promised answers, and answers you shall have. But I need you to realize that this situation is far more complicated than you could have imagined. You have traveled very far, and suffered a great deal to find your son. Well, your tenacity and dedication have been rewarded. It's good to finally meet you, after all this time. It's me. I am Sean. I am your son.
bullshit!
Is it? After all the things you've seen and experienced in the Commonwealth? Think about it. In the vault, you had no concept of the passage of time. You were released from your pod and went searching for the son you'd lost. But then you learned that your son was no longer an infant, but a 10-year-old boy. You believed that 10 years had passed. Is it really so hard to accept that it was not 10, but 60 years? That is the reality. And here I am, raised by the Institute, and now its leader.
It wasn't right, what they did. Taking you from me like that.
To you, that would certainly seem true. But to the Institute, it made all the sense in the world. At that time, the year 2227, the Institute had made great strides in synth production. But it was never enough. Scientific curiosity and the goal of perfection drove them ever onward. What they wanted was the perfect machine. So they followed the best example thus far. The human being. Walking, talking, fully articulate, capable of anything.
So the weird science experiments needed specimens. That's why they took you?
In a manner of speaking. Yes. The Institute endeavored to create synthetic organics. The most logical starting point, of course, was human DNA. Plenty of that was available, of course. But it had all become corrupted. In this wasteland, radiation affected everyone. Even in their attempts to shield themselves from the world above, members of the Institute had been exposed. Another source was necessary. But then the Institute found me, after discovering records from Vault 111. An infant, frozen in time, protected from the radiation-induced mutations that had crept into every other human cell in the Commonwealth. I was exactly what they needed. And so it was my DNA that became the basis of the synthetic organics used to create every human-like synth you see today. I am their father. Through science, we are family. The synths, me, and you.
Sean.
Please. Anything I can do to help you understand.
Kellogg. He worked for you?
Kellogg. He was an Institute asset long before I arrived here. It wasn't until I became director that I knew all the things he'd done. What kind of man he was.
You knew the man was a psychopath, but you used him anyway?
Would you have preferred that I turned him loose on the Commonwealth? At least keeping him on a short leash kept the collateral damage to a minimum. The Institute took advantage of Kellogg's vicious nature. I will freely admit that. Institute technology prolonged his life, and his usefulness far beyond any normal human lifespan. He never failed the Institute, but his cruelty became more apparent with every completed objective. I won't lie. It's no coincidence your path crossed his. It seemed a fitting way to allow you, us, to have some amount of revenge. What else can I say to ease your mind?
Your father. He never got to see you grow up.
Yes. What happened to him was... I've gone over the records of the incident, of course. It seems what happened to him was an unfortunate bit of collateral damage. For many years, I never questioned who my parents were. I accepted my situation, and that was that. With old age comes regret. and asking what if more often. But what matters now is that you and I have a chance to begin again. What else can I say to ease your mind?
So, you're in charge of the Institute?
I am the acting director, yes. I spent decades working to reach this point. It's a responsibility I take very seriously. The Institute. It's important. It really is humanity's best hope for the future, no matter what those above ground might think of us.
They're scared of you, Sean. Scared of the Institute.
People are always frightened by what they don't understand. Ultimately, the Commonwealth has nothing to fear from us. Whatever you've seen or heard, I know I can convince you of that. Just give me time. I know there's more for us to discuss. But the Institute is on the verge of some important breakthroughs. Your presence would be appreciated as we approach them. I've been a part of something amazing here. I've helped to build a life for myself and the people of the Institute. And now, after all these years, you have an opportunity to help with that. Doesn't that intrigue you? Isn't that what you want?
You want me to stay here, in the Institute?
Yes, that is what I propose. Is it so hard to imagine? The Institute can provide a better life than anything above ground. You've been in the Commonwealth. You've seen what it's like. I assure you that you are better off with us.
How can you say that? How can you be so dismissive of all those people? Everything they've done?
Because it is the simple truth. And I believe you know it too. I simply ask that you give the Institute, me, a chance. A chance to show you what I've been telling you. We really do have humanity's best interest at heart. Will you take that chance?
Are you sure you want this?
Yes, I am. It would benefit us both to work together.
All right.
Thank you. The Institute is now your home, as much as it is mine. Please take some time, get to know it. Meet the people you'll be working with. You'll want to introduce yourself to the division heads. Dr. Fillmore in Facilities, Dr. Ayo in SRB, Dr. Holdren in Bioscience, and finally Dr. Lee in Advanced Systems. They've all been notified of your arrival, of course. Meet them, and then we'll discuss what comes next.
Okay, so I infiltrated. I'm in. Guard extension. Zimmerman is offline. This is about, I think, me. Okay. Initiate the scan. Scan. B demanded the tutorial to here. Short version, plug this into any institute, blah 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 blah. Long version. Patriot's been sending us short use an evil little encryption scheme. It was a bitch and a half to reverse engineer, but I put this in any institute hospital, deliver gifts throughout my page. Okay, let's go take a look around. I'm gonna go downstairs. Oh, hello. I want to see if I can talk to him some more.
Sean, about this synth.
You mean the child? It's a fascinating project, really. There are issues to be solved, of course, but we've made remarkable progress.
Why build it to look like you?
We'd advanced the technology behind synths to a point where this struck me as an interesting variation. A new angle, if you will. Modeling it after myself seemed only natural, what with the Institute's records on my genetics and physiology. I'll make sure it's brought back online in the near future. You'll have an opportunity to interact with him further. But I'll admit I'm curious. As a parent looking for a child, looking for the younger version of me, what do you think? Do you think you could love him? Like you would a real boy?
I don't need a synth. I found the real Sean.
Yes, but not the Sean you were looking for. In some ways, the synth is far closer to what you expected. I wouldn't claim to know everything you're feeling, but if in some small way the boy's presence can help, I hope you'll keep an open mind.
Sean?
This truly is a wonderful place, isn't it?
It's an abomination is what it is. I don't know how I would feel about it.
Almost done. Just need to tighten up this primary drive servo.
That's a third primary drive.
Okay, so we got a bunch of things.
I break down this month. As far as I'm concerned, the phase out on these older models can't come soon enough.
Oh, I don't know. Most of them have lasted long past their projected lifespans. If you ask me, they were built pretty well.
I can't argue with that. Even so, I'm ready to see the full Gen 3 roll out.
There we go. All set. Unit, you can return to duty.
Hi,
Of
Doc.
course.
They weren't kidding. You really are here. Well, all right. I'm Allie Fillmore. You can think of me as the Institute's chief engineer. When Father told us about you, I could hardly believe it. You've been through so much, I think most people would have just given up. If you don't mind my asking, what was it that kept you going all that time?
I just wanted to find my son and keep him safe.
Now that you've found him, I hope you're proud of the great man he grew up to be. Now, I'll give you a quick rundown of the Facilities Division, and then I'll answer any questions you might have afterward. As you might guess, we keep the Institute's mechanical and electrical systems running smoothly. We maintain and upgrade all of the systems that make it possible to live and work in a place like this. There's a lot of machinery behind these walls that recycles the air and water and provides power to the laboratories and quarters. The work we do might not be as exciting as some of the other departments, but it's at least as important. So, now that you're here and you've spoken to Father, does that mean you're on board?
Absolutely.
Oh, good to hear. It'll be a load off Sean's mind. Take your time. Get yourself acquainted. There's a lot to take in. Plenty of things you won't find topside. If there's anything else you'd like to know about the Facilities Division, I'm happy to discuss it.
It must be a challenge to meet the power demands of a place like this.
Absolutely. We scratch and scrape for every precious ounce of voltage that we can. Over the years, we've learned a few tricks that help supplement our power budget. When necessary, we can tap into select sources on the surface. We take only what we need, of course. Fortunately, Advanced Systems is always working on new solutions to generate more energy. It's a good thing, too, because the demand is always increasing. You don't even want to know what a single use of the molecular dematerializer consumes.
Okay, there's one.
Greetings. As the Institute's requisition vendor, I can provide supplies for your missions on the surface. How may I assist you today?
What can I requisition?
I have access to a modest selection of arms, armor, and other items approved for use in field missions.
Okay, let's...
I've got a few minutes to browse.
Clean room suit. Ooh wee. That is a nice gun. I need 3618. Damn. Such a waste of water. Okay, let's go to the bioscience building. It's back here. Hey, it's a maintenance room. No one's in here? Okay.
Have you had time to examine my latest reports on batch 274?
Not yet. I've been reviewing Father's plans to expand our operations at Warwick. He's eager to get that going, so I've had to put everything else to one side.
I wonder how the Warwick family is doing. Young Wally must be close to 10 years old by now. It's remarkable that any child can survive for so long up there, don't you think?
I try not to think too much about it. We have more than enough to occupy ourselves here. Those people are the last remnants of a dying past. It's best not to dwell on the subject.
They're still people, and they're suffering. We can at least admit that it's regrettable. After all, how can we hope to redefine mankind if we can't even hold on to our own humanity?
Well, that's a question best left to our colleagues in the robotics division.
Yes, well... I suppose you're right.
Hello.
It's great to have you here.
Excuse me, Doctor.
Welcome. So good to have you here. Dr. Clayton Holdren, head of the Bioscience Division. I can't wait for you to see the work we're doing. It's truly amazing.
I look forward to learning more about it.
In that case, let me give you a brief overview of what we do here. As the name implies, the Bioscience Division specializes in fields of studies such as botany, genetics, and medicine. Our most important directive is to ensure the health and well-being of everyone in the Institute. To that end, we cultivate highly specialized breeds of flora for use in food and medicine. We've even started to explore the idea of synthetic animal life. You probably saw the gorillas. They're really just a pet project at this point, but the potential is exciting nonetheless.
Seems like there's nothing you guys can't do.
With hard work and ingenuity, any challenge can be overcome. I'm sure I've taken up enough of your time as it is. But I have to ask, have you decided whether you'll join us?
I'm an outsider. Would there even be a place for me here?
Even if science isn't your passion, there are plenty of ways to contribute. Our projects sometimes require an agent who can work on the surface to observe and gather information. From what I've heard, you are both fearless and resourceful. I think you'd be ideal for that kind of role. In any case, I imagine you'll want to continue looking around. Or, if you prefer, I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have.
You mentioned medical care. I might need that from time to time.
In that case, you'll want to introduce yourself to Dr. Dean Volkert. He's our top biologist and also serves as the Institute's resident physician. Dr. Volkert works in the infirmary. Just pay him a visit whenever you need to. You won't find better medical care anywhere else in the Commonwealth. I'll promise you that.
Okay.
Dr. Holdren's synth gorilla project is showing promising results. You're here. Glad you made it.
Excuse me.
Feels like this project has been going on for months.
Ooga ooh. Ooh ooh. I don't actually know how. Let's see. Advanced Sciences is where he is. Or she. He or she.
Is it true Food Supplement 77 has been discontinued?
That is correct.
That was my favorite one. Can't we keep it a little longer?
Advanced Systems. I'm just going in the circle.
She's been at it for over 2 hours. What is she even testing?
Nothing. At this point, she's just doing it for fun.
Doc?
Oh, hi there. Sorry if I seem distracted. I memorized 5 sets of design schematics and now I'm doing detailed mental comparisons.
What kinds of blueprints?
Mostly components for a new plasma pistol concept I've been toying with. High energy weapons are sort of a hobby of mine. Anyway, I'm glad you're here. I just wanted to say how much I admire Father, and that it's an honor to meet you. I really hope you're here with us.
Okay.
Well, that was productive.
Hello. Hey, look who it is.
Excuse me, Doctor?
Ah, it's you. You're here then. Yes, I know who you are. We all do. While I'm sure Father is very happy that you're here, I do hope it doesn't interrupt our work.
I get the impression you don't want me here.
What I want, in this case, is largely irrelevant. Father gave his orders. Oh, before I forget, let me see that Pip-Boy of yours. I've been told to install a Courser chip in it for you. Father's orders. You're to be given full access, with the ability to relay in and out of the Institute at will.
Thank you. I'm sure that will come in handy.
Given that the relay is the only way to access the Institute, handy is something of an understatement. In case the significance is lost on you, you'll be the only one here with that kind of access. If nothing else, it should demonstrate the amount of trust Father has placed in you. Now, unless there's something else, I really do need to get back to work.
I'd like a progress report on your division, if you don't mind.
Taking your new appointment in stride, I see. Very well. We've shifted resources off of other projects, like the Child Synth, to focus on Phase 3. I'm hoping that the above-ground efforts are successful. I understand those depend heavily on you.
Me?
Rushed work is sloppy at best, and deadly at worst.
I am where I need to be, aren't I? Gotta meet Patriot. Guess he's out here, I guess. Oh, okay.
It's me. So you're the one who sent the encrypted message. How did you even do that? I wasn't sure anyone on the surface would have a chance to crack Trinity. You know, the encryption algorithm.
A friend named Tinker Tom cracked your encryption.
He must have had some serious hardware to pull that off. Wow. Your message was only one word. Friend. What did you mean by that?
The railroad sent me to look for someone they call Patriot. That's you.
What? The railroad? As in the railroad? And they gave me a code name too? I kept sending synths to the surface hoping someone would help them. I hoped the railroad got to some of them, but I never knew for certain.
If you met them, trust me, you wouldn't be that impressed.
They've eluded the SRB for decades. They've got to be incredible. With you in the picture, I have this idea. To rescue a lot of synths. At once. But we'll need help. Where's he working now? Right. Let's go to the West Atrium. Probably best to talk about something else right now.
Okay. So, what are all these items?
You know my father thinks it's a living hell on the surface. But that can't be right. Heck, you look positively normal to me. No offense.
What?
But if you could get me a pre-war admin password from the I could log right in.
I'll find it.
Great. Unfortunately, the obvious won't work. The CIT rooms were picked clean years ago, but some of the admins had to live off campus. Ask your friends on the railroad. I need those login credentials.
Okay. Takes care of that part. Next, we're gonna head to... Hang on. There's something else I have to do while I'm here. I have to find some kind of chemical.
You know the protocol. Authorized personnel only.
So Dr. Ayo thinks he can hide in his office, does he? Well, you can tell him that I intend to speak to Father about these unannounced security sweeps of yours. Ransacking my quarters in the middle of the night is totally unacceptable.
I'll pass along your message, Doctor.
See that you do.
Welcome to the Institute, ma'am.
I'm seriously thinking of heading over to robotics to knock some heads together.
What now?
They're dragging their feet on the targeting package
We're
upgrades
all
I
looking
asked
forward
for.
to working
Maybe
with
I
you.
should take some courses with me. You know, send a message.
Please don't. There's enough
I
friction
can't
as it
imagine
is
living
between
on the
us
surface.
and pretty much all the other
Sounds like a
departments.
nightmare.
You going on me a lot? My method results. You'll see.
I know it'll be a difficult adjustment for you, but try to remember that synths are people.
If you see any suspicious synth activity, report it. So, here you are. Staneo, Acting Director of the Synth Retention Bureau. I'll be upfront with you. We're going to be keeping a close eye on you for the near future. Despite your relation to Father, you're a bit of an unknown quantity. I'm sure you understand. There won't be any issues, will there?
Why? Don't you trust me?
I'll be honest. You're an outsider. First outsider to be allowed access to the Institute in quite a long time, in fact. There's little precedent for this situation, so it's only natural to take extra precautions, It's nothing personal, I assure you. Now, Father has asked that I provide you with a brief overview of the Synth Retention Bureau. Our primary responsibility is the recovery of escaped synths that are hiding among the human population on the surface.
So basically, you're the secret police.
Secret police? If that's a pre-war reference, then I'm afraid. Our main instrument is the Corsair, third-generation synth assigned to operate on the surface. There's trained in combat, infiltration, tracking. In fact, I'd very much like to know how you defeated it.
Sheer power.
Why does it matter?
If there is some defect in Corsair combat programming, then it must be identified and corrected. I suppose I'll have to ask robotics to perform detailed diagnostics on the entire production run. As if we don't have enough problems. Now, unless you need something else, I'll get to work.
If you're the acting head of the SRB, who are you filling in for?
Dr. Zimmer holds that position. He's supervising the retrieval of some of the more high-profile units. In his absence, I keep things running smoothly.
Okay.
Feels like this project has been going on for months.
What's down here? Nothing really. I see lockers.
Excuse me, I've got reports to deliver.
I'll get them, take it all. I'm just stealing everything. SRB terminal. No. Good neighbor. Boston Airport. Huh. Wow, that's a lot of lost synths. Cricket is works for this guy, this group. Carla, Doc Weathers. AJ's dead. Sorry, dude. Huh. That's some information I got. I think it'll be fine. Go find.
Are intelligent and self-aware, then they have a right to free will.
However closely they may approximate human behavior, they are still our creations. When you see what I have to show you, I think you'll agree that we know what is best for our synths. A rogue synth has taken over the Raider gang at Libertalia. His memories have been erased, and his identity altered. He believes he's a man named Gabriel. Under his leadership, the Raiders have taken many innocent lives. I've dispatched a courser to Libertalia. I'd like you to join him and reclaim that synth.
We'll bring that synth home.
That would be best for everyone. Now you should get moving. Many people are in danger, and a delay could cost lives.
Okay, looks like I am heading back up to the surface now. So we got a lot to do. So I want to thank you all for watching. Yeah. We'll see you on the surface next time.